When I go off on holiday, I love to take a little sketchbook to try and capture the week, whether it's in the UK or whether it's somewhere further afield. And just looking back at these books, it helps me remember so much about it, the smell and the feel and the cold of the place. So these are really they're treasures for me, and I've learnt a bit over the years of doing these holiday sketchbooks what to take with me and what not.
Hello, my name's Liz Chatterton. I'm a watercolour artist based in Berkshire, and every week I share a tip, trick, or technique that I wish I'd known about ages ago. And this week, as I am packing for my holidays, I'm going to share with you what I take so that I can sketch while I'm away and a few of the lessons I've learnt along the way.
I've certainly learnt that I rather like a concertina sketchbook. Certainly if you're going for a couple of weeks, it's nice because it tells the story of the whole trip, and I like to make my own. I've got a film all about making concertina sketchbooks if you want to see it. Now, I have sometimes taken proper sketchbooks, and this is, you might just see the llama there, an etcher sketchbook that I took to Australia with me last year, and I loved it. I really, and I look back and I think, oh yeah, we saw the lizards and oh, we stayed there and whatever. Sadly, I did run out because we came back via Thailand, did run out of pages, so I had to add in a few extra at the end. But that's fine. But on the whole, I like a concertina sketchbook, and that's what I'm going to take with me this time. And I have made myself one. This is what I'm taking with me. We are going to Costa Rica. We are amazingly lucky. So I had been given an old atlas that was out of date, and I used the pages from Central America to make the covers. And I have done a big concertina because we're going for 3 weeks and I don't want to run out of pages. If, of course, when I get home, I've only filled half of it and I want to complete it, I can just take out the extra pages and stick it together. I've put a tie on it, and I have learnt that it's a good idea to have something to keep a concertina together, because if it just falls apart, it's a bit of a pain. I haven't put any pockets on this, which I think I probably should have. If you look at this one, and that was sort of a week in Devon, it's quite nice. A few things that I collected I can just put in a pocket, but I haven't on this. I could still, but I don't want to really cover up the map. I guess I could put it on the inside front cover. This has got watercolour paper in it, and usually I make my concertinas just with heavyweight drawing paper, but I thought I'd treat myself to that. If you take a concertina, the other thing I would suggest is taking a couple of clips, because if it's a windy day, and especially if you've made it quite thick, the whole thing could end up blowing away, and a few clips just to keep everything together and not to embarrass yourself is no bad thing. So I've added those to my kit. I usually take a water brush with me because, again, you don't want to be having a pot and taking your best brushes that you might leave somewhere. So then cheerful water brushes, and I usually take two just in case I lose one. Have got a little spray bottle, which I quite like. Have got the most important thing, a couple of squares of kitchen towel that I usually just pop inside so that I can clean off those brushes. Also, I need some paint. What I've learnt over the years is that you need to think about the sort of colours you will encounter where you're going. So let's grab this. Right. So this was in Devon in September. I knew it was going to rain. It always does. So I knew I needed quite muted colours, and I took a lovely Derwent set with me, their line and wash set, and those colours were very appropriate for the Devon sort of greyness and for little treasures that I found on the beach. When I went to Australia, I took that same kit. Oh, actually, that was Hawaii, and I really struggled to get it bright enough for the tropical sunshine that I encountered. I took the wrong colour, and then just to show that I don't always get it right, I've only really recently thought about this. This was last year, and I did a long distance walk. I walked the Ridgeway 90 miles in a week with my sister, and I took the wrong colours. I took some really vibrant colours with me, and I struggled because these are not the colours for the British landscape. That is more successful, where I just stuck with pen for black and white, and actually by the end of the week I was managing to subdue some of the colours for the landscape. So thinking about the vividness of your colours is important. Now we're going to Costa Rica, so I'm thinking of taking my little Viviva colour sheets because they are super vibrant. I'm hoping to see toucans and parrots, and we're going to the Caribbean Sea for goodness sakes, and we're going to hopefully see amazing butterflies and other bird life, and we're going to go into the jungle. So vivid colours, really good idea. That muted Derwent set would not be right for this, but should I go for a wet week in Devon again, it would be. This little watercolour set, which again is Viviva, but rather than being the colour sheets, which is just the watercolour applied to the paper, very lightweight, these are little pans, but they are beautiful colours, and I'm thinking they might be lovely to take with me. And again, it's very light, it's a cork palette, and it does have a mixing area here, so I'm thinking that might be pretty cool. Plan to take one, this is a white Posca pen, just for doing highlights. It's an acrylic marker, but I think that would be quite useful. So I've got my brushes, I've got water, I've got my set there, and now I need to think about pens, because you've seen those examples, line and wash. I'm going to take just an ordinary fine liner with me. Now that's a 0.1, which is too thin. I think a 0.4 is quite a good size for the paper I'm taking. If I was taking a bigger pad and doing larger pieces, I might go for a slightly thicker pen. If I was taking a smaller one, I might go for a slightly thinner, but I reckon a 0.4 or 0.5 is good. I'm not taking that many pens. I will only take maybe one or two, again, just in case I lose one or it runs out. The other pen I do like to take with me is a Stabilo 0.88 in black. So these are waterproof. I can sketch, then put my watercolour on top, and that's no problem. These are what you call water resistant, so you can make the mark, and then if you put water on top, some of the ink will run, but not all of it. And that is really nice, and that's what I used for those black and white sketches, wherever they were. For those sketches I use these, and I think they can be really nice, because you can do a very quick sketch and later with just a bit of water put some tone on them. They also come in sepia, which is a nice thing to take if you were, say, going to somewhere with tumble down cottages and lots of ruined castles. Sepia might be good. I'm thinking I probably only need black. You can get sepia colour pens that are totally waterproof as well, just so you know. The other thing, which is a bit of a new thing for me, I think I'm going to take a pair of scissors and a glue stick. Look at these scissors, I really like them. I got them from Journals Say. If you haven't seen that video, do take a look if you're into art journaling. I really like those. And a glue stick. And you might think, why on earth are you doing that? This book, I've really got into art journaling and collaging. Oh, where is it? Here we go. So we were down in Devon in a place called Beer, and they have all the fishing boats on the seafront. And I use little bits of newspaper to add to that page of my little sketch of the fishing boat. And then we had a day out in Sidmouth, and those were all the tickets and receipts, and that's a bookmark that I got from the bookshop, and that was a bit from the newspaper and everything. And I started doing collages in my journal. I had to buy a glue stick while I was on holiday, and it was extortionate because it came from the corner shop in the little village. So this time I'm thinking I will take a glue stick and I will take a pair of scissors, but I must be very, very, very careful to put those scissors into my checked-in luggage and not my hand luggage. I do not want them confiscated at the airport or getting pulled over by security. Got a little bag to put them in, a light bag. I was given a present. I don't know who gave it to me. So that, I reckon, will be the perfect bag to put everything in and just keep them all together. So that will be my kit. So to help me decide what I'm definitely taking to make sure I haven't packed too much, and to start the sketchbook, because that first page being blank is really hard, what I like to do is like I did here, which is actually sketch some of the materials I'm taking to make sure they work for me. That's what I'm going to do now. Starting a sketchbook, the first page can be really scary. I've noticed in my kit I don't take a pencil and I don't take an eraser. Working straight in pen makes me a lot more decisive and a lot braver. I'm going to start with that point 4, and let's see. Let's start with the scissors. And my holiday journal isn't meant to be perfect. It doesn't matter that this is a bit wonky. It's meant to capture some of those memories so that when I look back at it in a few years' time, I'll think, oh yeah, we had great fun. We saw this, we saw that, we did this, we did that. Not, oh, that's an amazing drawing that I should have, frame in. It's not meant to go in a frame. It's just meant to capture memories. And look, I've done the edge of those scissors far too thick. Does that matter? Can I disguise it? Look, if I put a little edge to it, that'll be fine. Bulldog clips, terribly useful. When we're on holiday, my husband is very tolerant of me saying, oh, I want to do some drawing. And I try to be very mindful of not being a pain and holding anyone up with my drawing. So we seem to rub along pretty well. So I think the danger is that I could spend all day drawing instead of sightseeing or exploring, and you just need to be fair to everyone, so I do try to be. But it's it's surprising how much you can achieve in half an hour, and if you're sitting and having a drink or something, then that's fine. Let's get just the pen in place. They're easy to find because they're sort of hexagonal with that orange and white stripe. That's the one you're looking for. If you don't know what a water brush is, I'm sure you do, but put those there. You just put the water in the barrel. You'll find quite a few water brushes unscrew the wrong way. So if you can't unscrew yours, just try it the opposite way from what you expect it to unscrew. They haven't got a great point on them, but they are so convenient. You don't have to take a water pot. You just fill them up with water before you go. You can refill them. Just remember to empty them before you go through security, because again, or to put them in the plastic bag so that they can be checked that they're not full of Semtex or goodness knows what. The bottle isn't exactly a necessity because I'm not going to be doing any big paintings that I need to wet my paper or do all that sort of stuff, but it can be useful. and it's not again going to be particularly onerous to carry. You need to make sure that is empty before going through security. You can see that I'm really not fussing with the lines an awful lot, and you might look at this and think, well, that's a load of rubbish anyway, but it's just to break up this first page and get things going. And as soon as I start adding a bit of colour, it'll come to life. So what have I forgotten? Just fill that up. And really, with your holiday sort of sketchbook or anything like that, you are telling a story, aren't you? So you can just make things fit your, well, not fit your story as such, but just arrange things so that it does you a favour. I do quite like putting logos on sometimes. Right, let's bring this to life. Let's enjoy the colours. And when I am doing this sort of line and wash work, I am very sloppy with my colours. I don't feel the need to stay within lines. In fact, I positively enjoy going outside of them. I guess if I was doing this properly, I should actually use the water brush to paint with now, but I think I've got the joy of a brush and water pot. It's fine. If you're interested in this palette, I've done a little review of it, so I'll put a link in the description. I think it's rather pretty, and I think the colours will be great fun for a tropical setting. Good practice for me in colour mixing because it hasn't got a real dark. When you are holiday sketching, it is inevitable that you will not have the right thing with you, and you just have to get over it. You know, you could go, oh, but I haven't got the perfect colour, or you could say, that doesn't matter, I'll use what I've got. Hey, as long as I capture the feel of the subject or the place, it really doesn't matter. So this is very green. This set doesn't have a really good dark black. Oh gosh, does it matter? No, it doesn't. So learning how to improvise is definitely one of the skills of travel sketching. Or indeed urban sketching, any of those sorts of things. If you bought yourself new materials for your holiday, then doing this ahead of going just helps you get to know them a bit and have that confidence in them. And I don't think we really need more than that just to get us going, and that's broken that page for me. It's got something nice and bright and colourful to start me off. It's made me realise that these colours are a little limited for a dark. I struggle to mix a dark, so I'm definitely going to take this colour sheet with me because it's got a few good darks in it. So I was thinking, oh, shall I just take this palette with me? But I think I will, yeah, I'll definitely take some of the others to keep me going. And so it has served its purpose well. And I am greatly looking forward to being abroad, and for this to dry an instant because it's hot, because we're in the middle of winter in Britain and everything takes far too long to dry. My studio is way too cold. Would love to know in the comments what you take for holiday sketching. What's your mustn't forget material, or no holidays complete without ... Like to take a fountain pen with me now I've been doing this, but I know I'm such a clumsy apeth, and look how mucky I am already. I don't think a bottle of ink would be a good idea, so I'm going to stick at this.